Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining me. I'm glad you could make it. I went with a buddy of mine one time to buy a Sportster that he was buying off another guy, and the guy came out, he's like, oh, I'm giving away all my leather too. I have a really nice set of chaps. And he looks at me, he's like, do you want chaps? And I'm like, no, thanks, that's cool, I don't wear chaps. And he got all indignant looking. He's like, but I ride all year round. Well, yeah, so do I just don't wear chaps. Not that there's anything wrong with chaps, it's just not something I do. So about the closest thing that I have that comes to biker fashion is my vest. And the truth of the matter is, I don't wear my vest because of how it looks. Someday I hope to pass it down, and anybody who knows me will know that this vest has been with me on amazing journeys. And it's really a record of those journeys. So I could wax poetic about that for maybe 30 minutes, but I don't want this video to be that long. So let's take a look at the vest. You know, if I drop it on the floor, I have to beat myself. And so far, this vest has been with me for about 70,000 miles, and it all has a story for the most part. This is my military section, my big red one patch. Now, this is actually not the original that came off of one of my uniforms, but it's just like it. I have my Signal Corps, because I was Signal Corps. Expert rifle badge, because yeah, I can still send a round down range if I need to. My sergeant stripes, which I fought long and hard to hold on to. It wasn't easy. I have to put on my glasses because this vest isn't the only thing that's seen miles. My 101st Military Intelligence Battalion. And it sounds way cooler than it is. I was in military intelligence, you know, James Bond, that kind of thing. Really, I just fixed radios. Palmetto Military Support Group. It's a local group that supports the military, and they go on rides and tours of the bases and stuff like that. Pretty cool stuff. Susquehanna Valley, Harley-Davidson. Got that when I rode through Pennsylvania on the trip to New Hampshire and back from South Carolina. Easy Riders Bike Show Tour. This one was from 2016. I have a lot of Easy Riders. 60,000 mile hog patch. You know, a lot of people talk trash about the hog, but it's hard to talk trash about 60,000 miles, I'm just saying. This was one of the first patches I got, and I love this one. It says, a friend will help you move. A brother will help you move a body. The Horseback Street Choppers magazine. I've done some writing for them and pictures and stuff. Great magazine if you're into choppers. Thunder Beach, 2014. Apparently, I went to Panama City. No, actually, I do remember it. It was a good time. Beautiful area. Broken Spoke Saloon. This one doesn't say which one I got it from, but I think I got this one from the one in Laconia, New Hampshire. I got Rommel Harley-Davidson from Delaware. Again, on the trip to Laconia, New Hampshire and back. This little I love you American flag sign. I bought that from a guy in Daytona who had like one arm and it was deformed and he walked with a limp. He was kind of a mess, but he was out there selling pins and I thought, he's out here making money. I'm going to support him. I kind of wish I'd bought a couple of them now. Have the pin from the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama. A Connecticut pin. I was going to get pins for all the states that I went through. I really decided I wanted to do patches instead. I have a Harley-Davidson pin from Lynchburg, Tennessee when we went to the Jack Daniels distillery there in Lynchburg. So let me talk about the Harley pins for a moment. The original plan was to get one Harley pin for each state I rode through from one dealership. The problem with that is that because they're made in China, they're super cheap. They're beautiful pins and well done, but the pins themselves actually come off. And I've tried super gluing them, gorilla gluing them. I've tried everything and they just don't last well. So I've actually gotten rid of some of my pins and replaced them with patches. And I'm really trying to stay away from pins unless they're really super special pins. Got my hog pin because I had nothing else to put there at the time. This pin, the Pirates of the Caribbean coin, when my son got out of MMI, motorcycle school down in Orlando, we went to Disney and I picked this up in one of the gift shops and I thought that would look great on a biker vest. It's got the skull, the whole thing, you know. Again, I have another Easy Riders pin from 2014. It's pretty scummy now, but that's what it says. This one's pretty cool and probably getting to be rare. I got this at the Thunder Road roller coaster up in Carowinds on the North Carolina-South Carolina border. It's actually in South Carolina, I believe. But it was a wooden roller coaster that they tore down shortly after that. So you can't even get these anymore. Luckily, I have two. Pin from Frederick Harley-Davidson in Frederick, Maryland. Again, on that trip. I got a lot of these on the trip to New Hampshire and back. Heritage Harley-Davidson in Concord, New Hampshire. Now, I lived up there for about 20 years, so that's kind of what used to be home. So that one I like a lot. Brunswick Harley-Davidson in Troy, New York. Pin from Kennedy Space Center. Been there a number of times. Anybody who watches this channel knows how many times I've been there. And I probably still haven't seen everything. It's a cool place, but I got this pin from there. I will seduce you with my awkwardness. This is perhaps one of the first rally patches I got. This is the spring rally in Myrtle Beach in 2014. You know, you can tell all of these are like 2014 and beyond because my bike is a 2013, and that's really when I started going places longer distance. I got a couple of rally pins, hog rally pins. On the back we have, oh yes, another Easy Riders patch. I've got a bunch of state patches, and like I said, I was going to do the dealership pins, but they kept falling off, so I thought patches. And I needed to get something that would fit 50 patches on the vest. So I ran across these on Amazon, and I really kind of like them. They're not the highest quality, but it's a biker vest. Charleston, South Carolina, home base. This is Bike Week Daytona 2016, the 75th anniversary. We went up on a Tuesday and did the Tail of the Dragon ride, and it was pretty good. It's not one of my favorite rides because it's a lot of work to go from corner to corner. It's just a lot of mental process, and I don't want to have to think about it that hard. I like long, sweeping curves. But it was still a good time. It was still a good ride. Georgia State Railroad Museum, I've been there several times. Besides planes and motorcycles, I like trains too, especially old ones. Weirs Beach, I got that up in Laconia, New Hampshire in 2016. Wheels Through Time, Maggie Valley. If you get a chance to go there, go there. It's an outstanding museum. Patch from the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville. I got this down at Kennedy Space Center. This is from the Challenger mission. And of course, being from Concord, New Hampshire, there were a lot of people that I knew that knew Krista McAuliffe and her family. And then I found out once I moved to South Carolina that Ron McNair, who was also on the shuttle on Challenger, is from Lake City, South Carolina. So I definitely had to have that on there. Barber Motorsports Museum. If you get a chance to go there, another great place. Whereas Wheels Through Time tends to keep the bikes pretty much as they are, Barber restores most of them. And it's a really cool place. Broken Spoke Saloon, the other one. I think that one I got in Daytona. I think so. I got one in one place, one in the other, and I still have to do the one in South Dakota. But looking forward to that one too. So that's the vest. That's the extent of my biker fashion. But as I said, it's really just a travelogue of where I've been. Little tip for you if you decide you're going to do something like this. Every time I pick up a patch or a pin, I get at least 2, maybe 3. That way if anything happens to the vest or it wears out or anything like that, you've got a replacement. I could rebuild this vest pretty easily and pretty quickly. I do the same thing with my helmet stickers. I usually get more than one so that, you know, sooner or later I'm going to replace the helmet. I've got all the stickers to put back on it. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I hope to add a lot more to it as time goes on. Actually, this year I hope to add a lot more to it. Ultimately, I'd like to have all 50 states on this vest. This year, if everything goes right, I know I'll add Nevada, Arizona. I've already got California because I have ridden in California. West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, maybe Michigan, Kentucky, but there could be more. It depends where I end up riding. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, maybe share it with somebody else who you think might like it. And not to sound like a broken record, but subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of stuff coming up. I was looking at a list the other day of blogging topics, and one of them was favorite bikini. And I thought, I might be able to do something like that. But then I realized, oh, they were talking about my favorite bikini. You don't want to see that. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Have a great week, and I will see you again next time. Thanks.